Today, we're going to teach you how to develop a superpower that will help you reconnect and rebuild relationships with those you love. All it takes is some good listening and strategic communication. So grab pen and paper and let's get started. Do you want to achieve your goals, but anxiety is tripping you up? Like to keep those fun weekend plans, but depression has you counseling again? Hey, I'm Lori, dog mom, lover of nature, and hygge enthusiast. Positive psychology skills help me overcome chronic severe PTSD. If you're ready to learn how to overcome your anxiety and depression and rediscover happiness and purpose in life, then get your cozy on and let's get started. And here's a friendly reminder to connect with us on Facebook. You can join our group via the link in the comments below, and you'll have access to handouts that we provide periodically in the chat. We're also doing Thankful Thursday today. Woohoo! So you can come over and share something you're thankful for, read what other folks are thankful for. And then tomorrow we're kicking off a new feature. We're going to start doing Photo Friday, and I would love for you guys to share a photo of something that you've done this week that is hygge or has been fun, exciting, is something that you're joyful about, excited about, whatever. Just come over and share your favorite photo from the week tomorrow on Photo Friday. It wasn't until I was coming out of the worst of my PTSD symptoms, the anxiety, depression, the withdrawal, etc., that I realized what kind of impact it was having on those that I loved. I knew it was having some impact, but I didn't realize how much until I was coming out of it and realized that they had been dealing with what we call secondary PTSD. So there has been various things I have done to reconnect and rebuild relationships, but today I want to share with you a superpower that I have learned that can help you rebuild, reconnect, and bond with those that you love. And that is how you celebrate good news. And yes, I know that may be like, what? But it's true. We often talk about being there for people in the bad times. We support them in the hospital by spending days on end with them or hours. We take them a meal when they're sick, or we may hold them while they're crying, write them a card to encourage them, and various other things, which are all important. Don't get me wrong. Please do that. We need to be there for people during their tough times. But what we forget is they also need us to be there during the good times. So think back, and when you had something super exciting that you wanted to share with somebody, and you went to go tell them this exciting news, and how they responded to you, how did it make you feel? And then flip the script. How do you respond to people when they come to tell you good news? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And if you can nail this technique, I'm telling you, this can become your superpower. So let's jump in and get started. And today we're going to talk about 4 basic ways people respond to good news. And if you're in the place to do so, I encourage you to grab pen and paper and work through this exercise with me. If not, listen, learn, and maybe come back later and you can do the exercise as well. So first we're going to start with a quad chart. So if pen and paper, just draw a quad chart out, and then over on the left-hand side, on the side of the quad chart, next to the first row, write the word active, and outside the second row, write the word passive. And then across the top, above the first column, write constructive, and the second column, write destructive. And then inside each of the boxes, I want you to write down the names of 2 to 4 people that you're close to. This could be a spouse, a best friend, a child, a parent, just someone that you love and that you want to build better relationship with. And then as we work through each one of these exercises, I want you to write down a percentage of the time that you respond to that person in that fashion. 5%, 20%, 30, 50, 0, whatever it may be. Don't have to get super scientific about it, so don't stress about that. This is just some good estimations to give you an idea of how you consistently communicate with those that you love, so you know how to fix it or what to expand on and grow and make even better. So the first one we're going to talk about, we're going to start in that lower left-hand corner, and we're going to talk about people that are passive constructive. So you have good news. We're going to pretend that you just bought a brand new house and this house has been your dream home. You have saved so hard to put down a down payment and you're super excited about this and you want to share it with your friend. So you swing by their house, they answer the door, and you can tell they're a little bit distracted because they've got their phone in their hand, but you're just so excited. So you're like, oh, you would not believe I just bought this house. I've worked so hard to put this down payment down. I just signed papers today and the house is mine. Woohoo, I'm so excited. And the person never takes their eyes off their phone. They're just like, okay, that's cool. And the conversation just kind of peters out. That's what we call conversation killers. The person who's listening is so wrapped up in what they're doing, they're not really listening. They're not really paying attention. They're very distracted, and the conversation dies very quickly. And you, so excited about buying this house, you just lost your joy. It just deflates everything, and you feel awkward. You don't know what to say, how to move forward, and you regret having bothered them to tell them your good news. So let's try this again. Let's look at the passive destructive communicator. You just finished signing the papers on your house and you go to tell your friend. Your friend opens the door. They do put down their phone. This is a good thing. And you start telling them, oh, you can't believe this. I just signed the papers on my house. I am so excited. And before you can even finish your thought, they're jumping in. Oh, that is so cool. You know what? That is so coincidental. I'm just about to head out the door right now to go buy that car I've had my eye on for the last, I don't know, you know how long I've been wanting this car? I've been looking at it forever and it's on sale and I finally have enough money to go buy it. I'm going to trade in my old clunker and get this brand new car. I'm so excited. All of a sudden, a conversation that has started off about you sharing the good news of buying your house turned into a story about them buying a car. And they completely hijacked the entire conversation, made it about them and about their good news, completely disregarding what you had just told them and just running right over it and completely absorbed in what they had to say. This can be pretty destructive to a relationship because it makes the person feel unheard and undervalued and underappreciated. And about now, there's some serious regrets about picking the listener. And the next time they have something good to share, do you think you're going to go back to that person who just completely hijacked the whole conversation? No, you're going to pick somebody else. And so I have to be honest, these two are the ones I tend to fall in the most. The first one is generally I'm distracted, I'm tired, I don't feel good. And I have to stop and remind myself, this is about the person talking to me. I need to take a moment and put my concerns aside and pay attention to what they're saying and really focus on it, make eye contact, follow along, give comment, whatever that may be. And because at that moment, it's not about me, it's about them. The same thing with the hijacker. Sometimes it'll trigger a thought and my ADHD brain will go taking off somewhere and down a rabbit trail, and I want so bad to follow that rabbit trail, but I have to remind myself, no, this moment is about them. You need to talk to them about what they're talking to you about and rein in that rabbit trail and pay attention to what they're saying to me. Next up is the active destructive communicator. Again, the house. So excited. I bought this house. You would not believe it. This is the one I've been wanting to buy for so long. This is my dream home. I finally saved up enough money for the down payment. I am so excited. And the person's like, are you crazy? How could you buy a house in this economy? Man, the interest rates are so high right now. It is so foolish to buy. This is a seller's market, not a buyer's market. How could you do this to yourself? Where did you get the mortgage? Oh my word, that bank is just terrible. They are the worst to deal with. And did you say your house was in that neighborhood? Oh, I was just listening to a crime report and it's really bad. You're not even going to be safe in that neighborhood. How could you buy a house there? This is so crazy. I am so worried about you. All of a sudden, the moment where you were celebrating the joy of buying your first home or your dream home has turned into a nightmare. Your joy is completely gone, which is why we call this the joy thief. You're sad, you're worried, you're concerned, you're regretting seriously talking to this person about it. And it's the last person you want to share good news with in the future. Now, this is one that's really easy for parents to fall into, or someone who's super detail oriented, someone who's very protective. And I really believe that the intent behind it is to keep the person that's talking to you, to keep them safe on the most part. I mean, there may be some people that are just out to steal your joy. But for the most part, their intent is to try to protect you. But what they don't understand, or they don't realize in the moment, is that they're making you feel undervalued, underappreciated, unheard, unloved. This can be super destructive to relationships, this one particular. Now, you may be asking, well, what if they really are making this huge mistake? I don't want them to get in trouble. That's the whole point behind it. I'm trying to warn them against it. This may be a conversation that needs to happen, but the best thing you can do is take a moment, just a few moments, and celebrate the joy with them, and talk about how this is such a wonderful thing. Once you've done that, then you can circle back later and have that conversation. Hey, have you thought about using this bank over here? I've heard they have better service. Or what measures are you taking to keep yourself safe in this neighborhood? There may be other things you want to talk to them about, but first take a moment to just let them enjoy the joy of the moment. Now, there's one exception to this, and that is if there's imminent danger. So, like, I'm going to run out to the street and grab this ball, but there's a semi coming down the road. If there's imminent danger where they could get hurt in the immediate future, you want to stop it then. That supersedes any kind of relationships, communication, superpower, anything. You want to make sure you're keeping your loved ones safe. But outside of that, it's much more effective, and they will hear you more if you let them celebrate their joy first and then circle back and say, hey, do you mind if I talk to you about some concerns I have? They're going to be much more open to hearing you if you have first laid the groundwork of building a relationship by celebrating their joy. Which brings us to the fourth communicator, and that is your active constructive. And this we call joy multiplier. You walk up to your friend. Oh, you won't believe it. I just signed the papers on the house. We closed today and it's mine. This is my dream home. I'm so excited. The person you're talking to puts their phone down. They maintain eye contact, and then they start asking questions. Oh, tell me about it. Where's the house? What is it? Do you have pictures? Can I see? Oh, what's your favorite part about the house? Tell me more about that. So what do you plan to do with this room? How are you going to use the yard? I know how much you love to spend time outside. Are you going to set up a patio? Oh, I am so proud of you because I know it's taken so long for you to save this down payment. This is amazing. I'm so proud of you for signing the paperwork on your dream home. You did it. You achieved your goal. This is incredible. I'm so proud of you. The person who is telling their story lives in that joyful moment for a little bit longer, and there's a bonding that takes place between the listener and the speaker that cannot be replicated anywhere else. Because you're celebrating that joy, you're bonding over a joyful moment, and that person is investing time in them. So one question that often comes up is, what if I don't really care about the good news? So if someone were to come up to me and say like, hey, I just shot an 8-point buck. I'm like, yay. I don't really care about hunting. I don't have any moral compunction against it, but I don't really know that much about it. I'm not really big into it. I don't really care. You have to remind yourself that in that moment, it's about the speaker. So if someone's talking to me about their 8-point buck, it's about them in that moment. It's not about me. It's about them. So if I really care about that person, I need to take some of my time and ask them questions. Let them explain it. Tell them, how do you do this? What did you do to get this deer? And they go into this big story about how they spent, got up at 5:00 in the morning, went out into the woods and sat in a tree stand and then tracked down the deer and whatever else they may have done. But it helps them to live in that joy for a little bit longer and to be able to celebrate that. And I'm making it about them. I'm investing time in them in that moment. And this is such a powerful way to build relationship, to rebuild relationships, to reconnect. So as you look through your quad chart and you're looking at the percentage of times that you communicate with your loved ones in any specific way, One, don't get too hung up if you're doing it wrong. You can fix it, I promise. I had a really good friend of mine that discovered when he was doing this that he was communicating with his daughter a lot in that active, destructive joy thief quad. He called her up, apologized, explained what he had learned, and has since worked very hard to stay in the active, constructive zone. Now, he does circle back and talk to her about his concerns, but he first celebrates her joy. You can learn to be intentional about your communication, to be very strategic, and to listen, to maintain eye contact, to give those cues throughout the conversation that let them know that you're totally tuned into what they say. And you can make them feel heard and loved and appreciated as you exercise your superpower in connecting and rebuilding relationships with those that you love. Don't forget to join us on Facebook for Thankful Thursday and share something you're thankful for. I'd also like to encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. This is where you will get first notice for our workshops, which are just around the corner. Hey, my friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with someone you know who may be struggling with depression and anxiety? Also, would you please leave a quick review for the show? Knowing how this podcast is helping you fills my heart with so much joy, and it motivates me for future episodes. For now, it's time for Sam and I to head outside to enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. We'll see you back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for more great episodes.